We are here because we love New York and we know New York City is in trouble. You can feel it.
3.5 years after leaving New York's governor's mansion in disgrace, Andrew Cuomo is on the campaign trail hoping for a second act. He's running to be New York City's next mayor. Cuomo, who became a voice of reason during the early days of the pandemic, would later face criticism over nursing home deaths in New York. And then he was forced to resign in the summer of 2021 over sexual harassment allegations. Chief political correspondent for CBS News New York, Marcia Kramer, is here now. What a political story, Marcia. It's so great to see you. And then this recent Quinnipiac poll comes out that shows Cuomo has a commanding lead already in New York City. Explain to non-New Yorkers why that would be, despite all these scandals that engulfed his final year as governor.
Well, you have to understand that he has incredible name recognition, and the other people who are running against him are really not that well known. So he jumped to the top of the polls based on name recognition and also his reputation for being a tough guy who could stand up to President Trump and has the knowledge of both city and state affairs. Now, I can tell you that in the week or so since Cuomo actually announced, some of the Democrats who are running against him have trying to do their best to bring up the past scandals, both the nursing home situation and the reason why he left office. But I don't know what the polls are going to show once they take their best shots at him. But, you know, in New York right now, there's a sense that there's a leadership vacuum, that the present mayor hasn't stood up to President Trump when there's a need to do that. And that's part of Cuomo's appeal. Also, he polls well in the same areas and the same groups that Mayor Adams polls good in. And there's some question whether Mayor Adams is going to run for re-election.
Yeah, and when it comes to baggage, if there's one person who rivals Cuomo, it is Mayor Eric Adams. But he says he shouldn't be counted out. Take a listen to what he said yesterday.
You're going to see why I am the mayor, because I know how to campaign. I know how to get information out to people. I know how to overcome hurdles. I know it so well. The worst thing I can do is surrender to a lie, and I would never do that.
So, Marcia, what does his path to re-election look like? Does he have to hope that another strong candidate gets into the race and siphons support away from Cuomo?
Well, see, you know, it's a very complicated race because, look, that was tough talk for Mayor Adams, and he has been talking tough, but I'm going to point out some things to you. Number one, he hasn't started raising money yet. Number two, his normal campaign spokespeople who have run the last campaign in 2021 have not been hired yet. So there's a significant question about whether he actually plans to run. Now, he actually got a really good boost today because a special prosecutor that was brought in by the judge in his criminal case actually ruled that he thought that the case from Washington should be dismissed totally, not with prejudice as the Justice Department ruled, but with which was without prejudice. This is with prejudice, which means the case is over. It can't be brought again, which could free him to stand up to President Trump. I think it remains to be seen whether the mayor runs again, but you know, he's going to have, if he wants to run, he has to collect petitions by the beginning of April and get 4,000 signatures. He has to start raising money, and he has to hire a campaign staff. Now, he has an advantage. He has the bully pulpit of being the mayor, and he can have press conferences every day of the week and do things to remind people the things that he's done and he's accomplished since he became mayor.
Is there anyone else you're watching to see if they get into this race, or has Cuomo kind of scared off other would-be contenders?
Well, see, here's what's happened. So a number of people who are not thrilled about having Andrew Cuomo run again, including the Attorney General who did the report that talked about the sexual harassment charges, have urged the current Council Speaker, Adrienne Adams, to get into the race. She got into the race, is having a press conference actually tomorrow to announce her formal campaign. And people are wondering whether she could be the person that could then, you know, jump in the polls and take over the other two spots. It's unclear because she's not that well known, and it's going to take a massive amount of money to get her well known throughout the city.
Wow. Well, that's going to be a fascinating race to watch. I imagine New Yorkers are looking for competence first and foremost. Marcia Kramer, thank you so much for breaking it down.
Thank you.